What's up YouTube, Dragon Knight 7 here. I'm making another deck video for my latest Atlantean version thingy. Anyways, been muddling over the deck, got a lot of suggestions of ideas, and actually I like this one better than I did the first one. So anyways, let's go ahead and start in the monster. Well, it's gotten a lot of results on DN though, so that's what makes it good. But anyways, let's start with the monster lineup. I run, if I can get him, 3 Atlantean attack squads. That's a good card because you can combo it with another card in the deck that allows special summoning of certain cards like this. So it gets its effect, which gives it about 2200 attack. Good high level, well high attack, low level there. So it's easy to get free attack in first turn if you can. Next, I run 3 Atlantean Marksmen. This card's good because of its main effect where you can attack and then summon a monster in the battle phase, and you can get an attack with him. Only drawback is you can't summon an Atlantean Marksman with it, so it's hard to get a chain effect going. But it's good for if you want to go ahead and get your attack squad out. Attack with marksman. Use it to get attack squad out. Get a free 2200 attack in. Next, this card was good because a lot of people suggested it, and with me running the kind of engine I'm running in this deck, Atlanteans, it's a good idea to use. But Abyss Soldier. With his effect where you can toss a water monster to the grave to bounce a card back to your opponent's hand. With the Atlanteans having a lot of effects, sub effects it is, that's a good card to use because you can bounce one of them. Like you can bounce a marksman to your grave, use it to destroy one set card your opponent has. So your opponent has like an iffy card on the field that you don't really like the set. Use Abyss Soldier's effect, bounce whatever other cards on the field you want to, and then use Marksman as the discard, and then use Marksman's effect and destroy that face down. Easy peasy. Next up, for my tuners, I run 3 Deep Sea Diva. Good monster, once again, good for getting out Atlantean attack squad, giving it its 2200 attack, plus another card in this deck. So next up is Atlantean Dragoons. This card, if you combo it with the field spell that's in this deck, it's also good because its effect where it allows all level 3 and lowers to attack directly. Use something to reduce this card's level to 3. You can get 2000 damage in, plus Atlantean attack squad. Get 2200 to at least 2800 in, so yeah. Next, I run 2 Warriors of Atlantis. Good searcher card for the field spell Legendary Ocean that's in this deck. Makes it easier. Plus, you can summon it. Usually get about one of them plus the 2 set of spells in this deck in my hand, so I usually get at least 2 field spells to my hand first turn. Next up, I run 2 Atlantean Heavy Infantry. This card's basically I'd want to say Summoner Monk of the Atlanteans, probably, who knows for sure. But anyways, its effect is, this card gets summoned to the field, you get 1 extra normal summon of a Sea Serpent type monster, aside from the summon you have now, well, summoner set. So yeah, it's good if you want to, and also it's good for using with Deep Sea Diva because you can special him to the field and get his effect, and then you can summon like I said, Atlantean attack squads or the other one to get another monster, and then so on and so forth. Next, I run 1 Mermaid Archer. Mermaid Archer is good because it's like a mech lord in this deck. But you can use one of your own monsters Uh, Give this monster 800 attack, equipping a level 3 or lower monster I control. Uh, if this card would be destroyed, I can destroy the monster that's attached to it instead. So, good mech lord like kind of card. I ran two of these in the beginning, but with the way it was, I decided to bump him down to one. But Poseidra, the Atlantean dragon, he's a good card, but is a dead weight draw if you run more than this, in my opinion, because you can always end up having a bad hand. Next up, I run Kodaros. Kodaros is good because its effect is kind of like a. Well, I don't really know what spinning to compare it with, but it allows you to basically bounce a Yumi send a Yumi to the graveyard and destroy two cards your opponent has. So you can clear a back row and a monster or two monsters. Just the sacrifice of a Yumi. Next, I run one Nightmare Penguin, the crump of the deck or whatever. Uh, you know, this card's like Abyss Soldier, except for the fact that you don't have to discard one card, you just gotta flip it face up, and it also adds 200 attack to all your water monsters. So you got another good boost for your Atlantean attack squads. Next up, I'm running into magics spells. I run two Mystical Space Typhoons. Double MST is a heavy hitter this format for some reason. It was down to one last format because not many people felt it was useful enough. But with it being unlimited to about 3, you're seeing a lot more use of it. Next up is the Searcher spells, where you can retrieve it from your graveyard, of course. So the deck Salvage at 2. It's good because you can always use this to, if you play Deep Sea Diva and Atlantean Heavy Infantry, use their effects or whatever, or sync for 2 or 8 probably, I don't know. But you can use Salvage to get those 2 cards back to your hand and use them again some other time during the duel. And plus with it being at 2, it's more faster to get your cards more faster. Next up is the first set of fields in this deck. Legendary Ocean, pretty obvious. It's a good card because you can combo it with Atlantean Dragoons. Reduce all your monsters' levels by 1. Dragoon gets to hit your opponent directly for 2,000 damage. So, Next up is another Field Searcher, just like Warrior of Atlantis, but that's my double terraforming. It's good because if you have 2 Warriors of Atlantis plus a terraforming in your hand, you can basically get all 3 of your field spells in your hand at the same time. Next up is the Pot of Greed of this deck. Ray of Greed. With Pot of Greed gone, it's the next best thing to run. Basically just lets you return 2 water monsters in your hand that you don't really need or want to use. Shuffle, draw 3 more cards. Repeat basically. Next is the third field spell of the deck, Lemuria, the Forgotten City. Lemuria is good because in this deck you can raise your monsters' levels up by the amount of water monsters you have on the field, so it's good for high level sinks or high level exceeds. Next up, Dark Hole Staple, good to wipe the field. Next, Monster Reborn. After that is a good card to have for special summoning. Water Hazard, get special summons out on the field faster, more monsters. Next up and finally for the magic is Call of the Atlanteans. Draw with its drawback. Some people would say it's a bad card because of how you can summon 3 level 3 or lower monsters, but you can't really special summon. But in my opinion, it's pretty good because if you have a Atlantean attack squad on your field or one in your grave, with a couple of other monsters, basically call the Atlanteans, get all 3 monsters to the field, an attack position or whatever, and you got a high level attacker. Well, a low level attacker, easy. Next up is my traps, which I've got 4 of them. I'm running 2 torrential tributes. Still a good card for this format, no matter what. Forgotten Temple of the Deep. It's a good card. You can avoid having some of your better monsters destroyed. Level 4 or lower. And Tornado Wall. It's good because it works with both the field spells since they're both treated as Yumi. So yeah, but the drawback is if I lose one of my field spells, it gets destroyed. Next up is the extra deck. I'm not really running the side deck for this, so for my sinks, I'm running 1 Armory Arm, good level 4 monster, get him out with Deep Sea Diva and whatever level 2 or whatnot you have on the field. Then, this is just a regular basic card, nothing really special about it, but 2 Unite the Force of Earth. 1 Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon's a good choice because you can get him out on the field, and if you have something like Abyss Soldier, use his effect. You can use Abyss Soldier's effect on a marksman in your hand, destroy 1 set face down, and they've used Scrap Dragon's effect on Abyss Soldier to destroy another or a monster your opponent controls. Next up, Xyz Monster, XYZs. I run 1 Gachi, good in Atlanteans, due to the field spell Legendary Ocean. I run 2 Wind Up Zen Mains, always a good card to have, one of the top best I've seen so far. I run 1 Muzu Rhythm, the String Djinn. It's a good card to use too because it can double its attack on itself, basically. I run a Grenosaurus. It was a basic card, fun to run, use, whatever. I run number 34, a Terabyte. Most people would say this would probably only work in the Crash Bug engine, but I at least got it a few good times on the field. May have been destroyed, but oh well. Still, you can use it in this deck. I run 2 Utopias. Most people would just poop on this play, but with double Utopia I can basically stop up to 4 attacks, so good and protected for about a few turns. Steel Swarm Roach, good card to use. And finally, Photon Strike Bouncer. I run this because I'm running Lemuria in the deck, so I can get him out a good few times, like with Deep Sea Diva and double with a Deep Sea Diva and a double infantry play, because I can use Deep Sea Diva, summon heavy infantry, use heavy infantry to summon another one of itself, then use heavy infantry again, the new heavy infantry to summon another monster, use Lemuria's effect. I get 3 level 6 monsters out on the field, overlay, and I can just strike bounce around on the field with any of them. So I think it's a good idea to use. Anyways, that's my new Atlantean deck. Take it, leave it, do it, whatever. I'm not really looking for help on that. Once I do finish though, I will also have a deck video up for my, I guess I could say, Orichalcos Monarchs. Not really finished with that yet, still waiting for 1 more card to come in the mail. Just gotta get Caius the Shadow Monarch. I went out and bought a common Book of Moon. So yeah, once that's done, I'll have about 2 decks ready and to give you guys. Do whatever the frack you want with them. But anyways, guess that's all I gotta say. Dragon Master Knight 7 saying don't hate the player, hate the game. Peace.